Did you know that over 70% of soldiers struggle with scoring 500 on the ACFT? Whether it's endurance, strength, or motivation, leading an effective PT session is critical for any leader. So today we're breaking down how you can run an effective PT session, keep your team mission ready, and achieve that 540 PT exemption.
Roger Sarnt.
All right, so welcome back to the Roger Sarnt Podcast, where we talk all things Army. And I'm your host, Sarnt Cruz. Okay, so if you're a leader in the Army, you know that PT just isn't about getting in shape. It's about discipline, teamwork, and most importantly, readiness. So running an effective, I say again, running an effective PT session can be the difference between a strong, motivated unit and one that struggles to meet the standards. So in this episode, I will go over strategies to make your PT session engaging, effective, and adaptable for all fitness levels. So let's get started. So this is going to be a short video, short and sweet. And I'd like to thank you guys because we are currently at 767 subs. So almost hit that 1,000 mark. So like the damn video. All right, let's get back to it. So let's break down what makes up a great PT session or just a PT session, right? Let's just break it down. So first, you have the warm up. So a proper warm up is non-negotiable. Like dynamic stretching, mobility drills, light cardio to prepare the body for like an intense training is gonna prevent injuries, right? And if you noticed, if you've walked around and you've seen any PT sessions going on, you'll see these lackadaisical bend and reaches. You'll see these awkward windmills. Um, it's just they're not done with precision because this new PT, well, the latest PT that we have, we need it to be precise to get that stretch in. And I mean, if you actually did mobility drills, you did the CD drills, if you did the 8 count push up itself is going to smoke half of the formation. But if you did all of those that are prescribed, you would have a decent PT session, right? But if we don't do them correctly, then you're not going to get nothing out of it. That's why PRT sucks, right? As they say. So let's get back to it. So the next thing is exercise selection. So incorporating a mix of body weight, exercises, and resistance training and endurance workout, right? So you have to balance the strength, the agility, and the cardio to create the well-rounded soldiers that we're trying to create, right? Because everyone's always talking about we're mission ready for war, this, that, and the third, blase, blah. But at the end of the day, many of us are out of shape. Let's just talk about it. A lot of us are out of shape. A lot of us don't fit in our uniform. A lot of us um are buying bigger uniforms because the old ones don't fit. Um, it's just we're not doing what we're supposed to do to create that well-rounded soldier, and it's the leader's fault. I don't care how you cut it. I'm gonna blame it on the leader because it is what it is, and then we can work from there. So the next thing is going to be adaptability for different fitness levels. You got to understand that like you have to have your modifications, like they have to be ready for soldiers that are struggling with exercises, while adding a progression for those that are excelling, right? So a lot of times what happens is we'll just do PT for those that are doing PT, right? And those that don't, they just fall to the wayside. You ever been in formation and this says those not conducting PT fall out to my left, your right, whatever they say? or those with a profile fallout, blah, 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 right? Because we're going on a run. So those walkers are just going to walk. And while you're supposed to walk, you're supposed to maintain a decent heart rate and this, that, and the third, but no one's monitoring that, right? So we have to have programs that are ready for that. That's why you have a primary instructor and an alternate instructor, so you can do both. And then you have motivation and team cohesion. So in order to do this, you should integrate partner workouts. You have to have competitive drills. You have to have you as a leader, you have to create the engagement to just foster this camaraderie and push everyone to perform at their best. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the sprint drag carry for the ACFT might be the best. It might be the best the best, what is that called? Event. I couldn't even get it out. It might be the best event in my opinion, and that's solely because you have someone right next to you, and me personally, I'm trying to beat them. Right? Everyone's cheering you on, everyone's doing all that there. Like if you think about it, like the deadlift, everyone just says, "Oh, good job, good stuff," or whatever. You do the ball throw, oh, and everyone says, "Oh," when someone launches it, but not for everyone. You do the plank, everyone's kind of quiet because they want to let you concentrate because you're shaking like booty meat. Um, and then you do the run, everyone's trying to run, so no one's really doing anything. Then you got the push up, it's the push up, right? The hand release push up. But on that sprint drag carry, people are yelling, at least where I'm at. So I think that might be the best one, and that's the closest thing to competitiveness when I talk about this, that creates that camaraderie and all that, right? So, and this is what you got to do as a leader. You got to create a competitive environment because people thrive off of competition. Even if those that are non-competitive, they're just going to want to do their part, and it'll make it better, and it'll still spring them into that thought process. So an example could be like, it's like, I think, like I said, instead of doing like the basic push-ups, sit-ups, and these 2 mile run PTs, just structure your workout in like a circuit that keeps everyone engaged, right? So just imagine like ending with like a relay challenge or something in that nature. Suddenly, I promise you, the morale is gonna just skyrocket. Trust and believe. So obviously, I'm gonna talk all this crap, but do I have anything to back it up? I got a little something. I think I got something that I would do. Like, so here's what I would do, right? If I were you as a PT leader, this is what I would do. Here's how my session would be what is that called? Structured. I would take 10 minutes to light their asses up, to warm them up, right? So if you guys got jump rope, use jump ropes. If you guys have just jumping jacks, do about 2 minutes of that, right? And then I'd probably throw in some arm circles and some leg swings, like about a minute of that, just so they kind of like loosen up the muscle and whatever. I'd probably do like I don't know, like 20 body squats, like 20 reps of that. Probably do about 15 push-ups, about 30 seconds of high knees, and that is going to start getting them warmed up, right? If you're not going to use the prep drill, this is what I would do, right? Because again, it's a guidance, but a lot of us move that are more creative. We move away from that. Some people I still see MMDs going on, so that's cool. And then I move into the main workout, right? About 30, 40 minutes, because we're under the impression that we have to be working out for an exuberant amount of time, and in order to get a good pump or whatever it is, or to be effective as a leader, and that's not always the case. So I probably do about the main workout about 30, 40 minutes, about 3 rounds of deadlifts, push-ups, and not fireman's carry, farmer's carries. I do 6 reps of deadlifts. I do 20 push-ups, and then about 50 meters of farmer carries, right? Because what do you do the most? Like, no one pushes all day long. No one does anything overhead all day long, like constantly. But you do carry stuff, right? You do carry the fuel cans. You carry your equipment. You carry your groceries. So, and you're always on the side, right? So I think that's kind of like something that you got to hit on. You got to think about like what's practical. And then I move into like agility and the core, right? And then this again, 3 rounds of that too. Very humble. 10 reps of box jumps, 30 seconds of side planks, one person each side, right? And then do some medicine ball slams. About 10 reps of those, just pow, just smacking them down, right? And then we go into cardio and endurance. We do 3 rounds of that. We do 400-meter sprints. We do 15 reps of burpees and then about 20 reps of kettlebell swings, right? And all these are practical, right? You're swinging the burpees. You're getting your full body there because you're dropping down. You're doing your push-ups, and then you're exploding vigorously on the jump, right? And then so it's cardio, and it's not just okay. We're gonna go down. We're gonna do 100 push-ups. Okay, 10 each or 100 push-ups, the quickest to get it. You know what I mean? It's just okay push-ups. I remember back in the day that we would do like the push-ups for strength and mobility, or strength and endurance, and then we filed 2 ranks, and then one person is the grader and the other person is the tester, right? And then we swap them, and we do that every time, and it's like, you know, get over, stop. So that's what I would do. And then obviously we got to cool them down for about 10 minutes. So we'll do some static stretching, some hamstrings, some shoulder, hip flexors, freaking deep breathing, right? Deep breathing exercises. Those are good because it regulates your breathing. It brings it down, your heart rate and all that cool stuff. And right there, you just did 50, what is that? 30 to 40. So let's say 40, and then 10 minutes and 10 minutes on the front end and the back end. So you have an hour right there. Boom, done. And then you just keep using these ideas to kind of like keep going. All right. So that's what I would do if I were you as a leader doing PT on any day. Any day. If you want to run, even when you run, you can do like 2 blocks. You'll have a station set up, do something. Another 2 block station set up, do something. And it just keeps going. And when I say 2 blocks, I mean like quarter mile, half mile, whatever it is. All right, let's keep going. So the key turning point in like leading PT effectively is understanding how to adapt workouts while keeping the morale high. Because that's really like it's a like you got to know, like it's a gift, if almost like it's a learned skill. That's what I mean to say. It's a learned skill. Like a great leader knows when to push hard and when to encourage. See, that's the difference. Like when you're pushing and you're encouraging are 2 different things, right? And then they also know how to make PT something soldiers actually look forward to. Because here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something right now. Like Troop wakes up, Troop don't want to be at work. Troop don't want to do PT because Troop stayed up all night, or Troop can't sleep, or Troop went to sleep, but just don't like doing PT. So you got to make it worth something, right? Either the day before, like, hey, we're working on this. So therefore, make sure that you hydrate. Don't do legs because we're going to do a lot of legs tomorrow, or don't do upper body, whatever it is. So because some troops work out on their own, and nothing's worse than you just did leg day, and the next morning it's leg day. And that only happens if there's no PT calendar there, or Joe didn't look at it, or leader didn't put it out, right? But you got to get them looking forward to it. So what if, what if your squad had an upcoming ruck march, right? This is a quick scenario. But half of you weren't conditioned for it, right? Half of you weren't conditioned for it. So instead of skipping it, you as a leader can structure progressive endurance. I can never say that word. So like a progressive endurance training over like several weeks, and it'll make it achievable for everyone that's in it. Now that's leadership. Uh, Have you guys ever done that? Like, because a lot of times what we'll do is we'll toss that ruck on a Thursday and say, okay, we're out for an undisclosed amount of time. Doesn't matter. Or are you guys as leaders, or are your leaders, have you noticed, are they actually doing a progression? Hey, 2 miles this Thursday, 4 miles next Thursday, 6. How are you guys doing it at your units? I'd like to hear about that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys are doing. Because I also, like, if I ever go back to being a platoon sergeant or whatever it is, or a first sergeant, I would like to, I get ideas from your comments. I'm not going to lie. All right. I get ideas. So if you take anything from this video, I just want you to understand the importance of effective PT leadership. Like it's huge. You have no clue. It's the first thing we do in the morning. The very first thing before anything happens. So if we're not setting the tone for that day, then it's all downhill from there. Or it could only get better. Depends on how you look at it. Got to understand the key components like warm-ups, the exercise selection, and your motivation techniques. It's a difference between pushing and motivating. I also want you, if you took anything from this, is how to adapt different workouts for different fitness levels. While at the same time, while simultaneously, that's when I should have used the word simultaneously. While simultaneously, you maintain morale. Great leaders don't just run PT. They inspire their team through the whole thing, right? And they make PT count. That's it. That's my thought process. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to check out my other video on how to remember PRT drills for BLC. Drop a comment down below with your best PT leadership tips. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're listening on the podcast, please do me a favor, download and leave a review. And remember, you don't have to embrace the suck if you got the right tools in your ruck. I'm Sarnt Cruz, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Roger Sarnt.